Baby Steps is the weirdest game I have ever played and platinumed, and I hate it. Another Fodian game joining the team on PlayStation with a platinum that will forever sit among the most rarest of its kind. To achieve it, we will need to climb the absolute peak of this mountain, all the while carrying an absolute dump truck of an ass. I'm not sure what Nathan's parents are feeding him, but I would advise them to stop immediately. Nate lives with his parents, even though he's like 35. Maybe he's just enjoying his 15th gap year, who knows? The only way we can control Nathan is by walking. There's no shooting, no jumping, no nothing. Just walking and pure pain. Each trigger lifts one leg up, and to control which direction they go, we use the left stick. That's it for the tutorial. Have fun, I guess. We will fall throughout our time here a lot, so get used to it. After getting a tiny bit more familiar with the movement and grabbing this amazing hat that represents our IQ perfectly, we go for our first trophy, World's Best Dad. All we have to do is to bring this trophy to this fire tower. Simple enough, right? Well, not exactly. We immediately encounter one huge issue on the first step on our quest. To get to the trophy, we can't just enter this carriage, of course not, that would be too normal. We need to go around and climb a rock just to get to it. And I'm using the word climb sparingly because I don't know if this counts as climbing. To get on top of this stupid rock took us about 30 whole minutes. Falling over and over was extremely pleasant and wholesome. After we finally succeeded and got a hold of this trophy, I go ahead and fall down the most slippery mud in the existence of mankind. I was so bad at this stage of our journey that I simply couldn't save this situation under any circumstance. With me being stubborn as I am, I don't continue on without it. I simply restart the whole game and try again. This still was the beginning of the game, so not much time has been lost, but I would have to also climb the rock from the depths of hell again. It only took me around 10 minutes this time, so at least we get some sense of progress here. Before bringing the trophy to the fire tower, we stop at a nearby campsite and drink what is hopefully soup and get some quick rest. There are 8 of these campsites in total, and each one is categorized as a chapter, which means chapter 1 is done. The path to the next campfire is pretty straightforward. All we have to do is not step into another puddle of mud, step onto this guy and... wait, is that a pin? After some more smooth sailing, we arrive at the fire tower and place the trophy where it belongs. The second fireplace is just ahead, so let's take it slowly. Shortly after, we stumble upon this tree that has something shiny growing on top of it. Climbing the tree and grabbing it triggers a cutscene where we get a good taste of whatever this is.
Persimmon.
Never heard of that before. There are many fruits we can eat on our hiking trip, but they don't count towards any trophy on our list, which means I will be skipping them. Don't care. After reaching the second campfire and having another nap, we wake up right in front of this donkey who has no pants on. I'm not gonna cover the dialogue, by the way, because there really is just no point. There are some funny jokes here and there, but all you need to know is that Nate here just needs to piss and is trying to find a nice spot to do so. He can't just do it anywhere for some reason. What the fuck? The next campsite is right over there, so let's get to it. Before climbing over this gate and completing another chapter, we head over to this cabin and try to get inside. We need to go through the roof again because the door unlocks only from the inside. After dropping down, we can find these keys, which we have to bring, as you might have guessed, to another fire tower for a trophy. As I was making my way there though, I unfortunately broke my ankles. I fell with such velocity that the keys we were holding got yeeted into another dimension and I couldn't find them anymore. I searched and searched, but with no success. Restarting the game wasn't in my interest as previously though, so we continue on without it this time. The gate to the next checkpoint is closed, so our only option is to climb over. There is a way to actually skip a portion of this section, but I was too ass cheeks at this point in time, so I had to go from the bottom. Campfire 3 reached, which means chapter 3 is done. The next trophy we go for picks up in difficulty. Most careful person, where we must bring a vase without breaking it to the next fire tower, which is located up on this hill. The only saving grace for us is the fact that the road is not that long and not really that challenging. The only issue we have is right at the end when we have to climb a really slippery rock. Usually, the more darker the surface is, the more slippery it is. We managed to complete it on our first try without breaking the vase though, so that deserves a backflip at least. Our next stop will be the desert, an area with a completely different feel to the walking. The sand here is so grippy and moist you can really just shove your feet into it. The walking here is just really pleasant. We get to the 4th campfire by swimming, if you can call it that. After napping for the 4th time, we wake up to... man, I don't even fucking know. What is this? And follow this turtle around. This turtle is fast as hell though, so I had to lock in just to catch up to it. We have to get to it just to acquire another trophy we can put on our head. We need to bring this trophy with us all the way to the next campfire. Just like with any other item, each time we faceplant pretty hard we lose it and have to put it back on. This is important to know, especially in this situation since we will be going for 2 trophies at once. Coolest hand, a trophy where we have to carry a trophy which is given to us at an ice cream stand. Since we are in the desert, the trophy melts, just like an ice cream. game. The trophy we end up was basically 4 centimeters wide by this point, but that doesn't negate the trophy one bit, so not like we care. As I was making my way to the next campsite, which is inside this castle, I got completely lost in this area. I had no idea where to go, and that is only because of the fact I missed a staircase in this small sand tower. The first time I fell down here, I didn't notice that there were stairs all along and basically took the worst path imaginable. I somehow got the memo that I was completely stupid and found out where I was supposed to go. After making it all the way up, we find ourselves in a castle completely devoid of light. Our donkey friend here, or one of our donkey friends, since there are so many, blesses us with a lantern to light up our way, up the escalator and right into another donkey gangbang. The chapter doesn't end yet, since we still need to climb all the way up another pair of stairs and interact with this angel statue. A secret minigame plays, which we activated by taking the trophy from the turtle all the way here. Without that stupid thing on our head, we wouldn't have been able to access it. The only reason we did this is because we need to get to the end of it and collect a trophy. These minigames have some story implications, but I couldn't be bothered. I mean, can you blame me? After waking up from our trance, we still need to get out of this place. With our trusty lantern, we climb all the way up until we reach this suspiciously out of place door. As soon as we enter through here, we see a total shift in the environment, since there's TV and stuff, you know. This has to do something with Nate's life outside of whatever this whole game is supposed to be. I mean, I don't know. The next campfire is reached, and now, boys and girls, we enter a new chapter that has one of the worst trophies in this whole game in it. Before tackling it though, we make sure to complete another fire tower quest for a trophy. Grabbing this trophy from the basket, we don't see any issues at first. All we have to do now is bring it to this fire tower and we should be good. As I was making my way over there, I recklessly overstep and fall over with the trophy in hand. I wanted to retrieve it from the ground, but it's not here. Once this happened, I was extremely confused to the point where I recorded the gameplay and watched it back. Even after watching it, I still had no idea what just happened or where the trophy went. I searched frantically, trying to find it since I was set on not repeating anything else after the key incident. This was when I discovered that the trophy grew literal legs and started running away from me. This quest looked suspiciously easy, but this was definitely not expected. I chased this thing for about 10 minutes since I kept falling with it repeatedly. The terrain in this level is also extremely unpredictable with many hills and plains. This right here was, by the way, not scripted. All we have to do is walk like 10 meters and finally drop it off into this box and we would have been done. Instead of doing that, my dumbass rushed through here, slipped and initiated another 15-minute chase sequence. You can't make this up. After dealing with all that pain and getting a trophy for our insane achievement, we start the real challenge. Invisible trophy. A trophy we get for going through the worst wipeout course ever created. Even with all those big red balls, this shit was terrible. There's like million pillars here and each one is dangerously slippery. We can't rush here, it will only lead to disaster. Taking it slowly was the best approach, which worked for me until this happened. I was so close to the finish line. 20 minutes later, I finally start closing in on the finish line and pray that I don't fall. The reward for making it all the way here are a nice pair of sunglasses, which reveal some more blocks for us to follow. When I saw just how much more of this there was, I think I lost some will to live. As bad as this looks, I have to say that I was positively surprised at just how much easier it was to step on these green blocks compared to the Stonehenge pillars. There were times where falling would cost me several minutes, potentially hours of progress, but I never fell in these parts, so I'm grateful for that. Even the end, where we have to descend to make it, didn't give me any trouble. Which, by the way, going downwards in this game is a complete nightmare. The last few steps we have to take to get our trophy, I want to announce that I made it through the blocks on my first go. I thought that this was the hardest trophy yet, but what comes later is definitely way worse. That doesn't concern us yet, so let's make it to the next campfire by stepping on these tracks. In one of the last sections of the game here, we go for yet another trophy. This time we need to grab this pigeon trophy, which is sitting on the most random spot ever, and bring it to this fire tower up here. The path we have to take to get to it is everything other than easy. Each time we fall with our precious pigeon trophy, it flies away, so we have to be careful about that. I fell over and over again on this part right here. I really didn't know what to do. That was until the kind pigeon decided to fly over to the same fire tower we needed to get to. This means that we don't have to carry the trophy anymore and get to the tower normally and bring the trophy down a few stairs. Bennett Foddy, the creator of this game, gave me this one for free, so I thank him for it and I will definitely play another game he comes up with. This marks the last fire tower trophy we will encounter, which just makes me smile. As we make our way through these broken train tracks and up to Watermill, we encounter two paths we can take. take. Be a man and go through the so-called man breaker, which is extremely hard. Or be a baby and go up these long but easily doable stairs. I, of course, take the man breaker stairs, but for a totally different reason. You see, for doing the man breaker we really don't receive anything, but by going up the stairs we receive a trophy, which is exactly what we need, so that's the reason why we do that. I mean, not like I mind taking the easier path in this godforsaken game for once, you know. Snowy fields and huge mountains mark the last chapter of the game. The last thing standing before us and the sweet relief of taking a piss is this massive train from Uncharted 2. Nate is way more athletic than Tom Holland though, so he doesn't use his arms. Just his legs should be sufficient enough. The first time going through this section took me about 10 minutes, which wasn't that bad honestly. Although this train will play a huge part in my downfall while doing the last remaining trophies in a short while. Climbing up the slippery mountain, we breathe fresh air as we take the most cathartic walk this game has to offer. After so many fails and heartbreaks, we finally made it to the end. Dropping down this hill and approaching this cabin, we roll the credits after not taking a piss, since Nate just can't do it without some privacy. The game is officially completed and all we need to do is go back and do it all over again and collect the last few remaining trophies. The first trophy we go for is most perceptive person. That's the one where I yeeted those keys if you remember. Since I was way more skilled by this point, going to the fire tower wasn't all that difficult. I also realized that these stairs are cursed, so I went all the way around. With this trophy done, we head on further into the next area and jump down into this lake. That's because we need to get into a secret location which is accessed by basically almost drowning in this lake. A simple obstacle course. That is not so simple. We can't just go through it and be done with it. No. We need to get to the end of it under 1 minute and 18 seconds. The course goes as follows. Go up this steep ramp, 3 dangerously far steps, slide down, go around this thing, another steep hill, a narrow platform, steep steps which can be cheesed I guess, drop down, and finally a real climbing wall. This course seemed impossible the first time I went through it, but I just couldn't give up at this stage of the game, you know. I started practicing the route and even found some tricks that can be used. Like for example in this section where we have to slide down and go up these small stairs. I found out that we can slide with only one foot and use the other to step on this ledge, immediately skipping the stairs entirely. Even small adjustments like changing the camera to the top position in some sections helped tremendously. After spending 1 full hour attempting this, I was finally able to achieve greatness and earn yet another trophy. Now, the last 2 trophies we still need to get are Complete Nightmare. To earn the first one, we will need to complete the game under 2 hours while also grabbing this alarm clock and taking it all the way to the finish line. The second trophy is for completing the game with less than 10,000 steps. To complete our first playthrough, we used about 30,000, so we have some work to do. Just like the alarm clock for the first trophy, we will need to grab this item that tracks our steps and bring it all the way to the absolute end. What this means is that if we fall in some weird way, there is a possibility that the item we are currently carrying will be lost, making us restart the whole game again. Hopefully that won't happen to us. I started off with the 10k steps trophy and that went pretty horrible at first. Somehow though the Lord above helped me out and I managed to make it all the way to the desert area. Everything was going smoothly until I got completely lost and ended up like Sisyphus on some random ass hill with many cactuses. I had my doubts about my first try at this trophy and I started to contemplate restarting completely, but I decided to push through and see what happens until this happened. What the fuck? Let's try this again. I decided to go for the speedrun trophy this time. It's way easier for some reason and I managed to beat this challenge on my first attempt. The path I took looked something like this. I got to the first campfire by taking this small shortcut without much issue. Took another shortcut which is crucial if you want to make the time and napped at the second campsite. I then scaled this sleeping bear which thankfully didn't wake up and grabbed the alarm clock. Just don't lose it now. Going over the gate here we end up at the third campsite. From here I just followed the main path which is pretty complicated but luckily nothing bad happened. All the way up here after the fourth campsite I went up and all the way to the right. This is the path with least resistance, so definitely best option for us here. Now to get to the castle we need to go up these stairs and carefully step on this sand shovel to make it across. In the castle we grab the lantern, go up the escalator and all the way to the top. This section is really easy. All we have to do is go forward until we reach this cliff and fall down. This makes us drop here and now we just have to be careful about these tracks. In this area we scale this awful wall, go up the watermill and scale the stairs to heaven. The last obstacle in our way is the train, which took me 5 minutes to beat this time, which was surprising to say the least. We finally end the run with about 1 hour and 45 minutes on the clock. It's time to complete this platinum trophy with the absolute shit show that this last trophy was. To preface, I took the same exact route during the 10k steps trophy as I did with the 2-hour one, so I am only going to mention details, which there are many. The first round went smoothly, everything was in order and no major falls occurred. All that effort was however completely ruined by this one fall. As I was falling, Nate decided to get rid of the steps tracker and threw it on this rock. There is no way for me to get back up and reach it, at least not that I know of, which means the only option for me was to completely restart the whole game. Hour and 15 minutes down the drain, just like that. On my second attempt, no shenanigans happened, but I was really tight on the steps. I didn't have much wiggle room, so I had to play perfectly, which I unfortunately didn't. I spent about 1000 steps trying to climb this train, which was just way too much. I might have had some chance to make it, but my dumbass forgot the best place to climb up and I slid over and over again until I had no steps left. Second run dead, just in front of the finish line. The third run began and by now I was a complete pro at this game. I made it all the way here again, where I dropped the steps tracker on my first run. I was paranoid of this happening again, so instead of dropping too close to the edge, I dropped too far this time, which sent my tracker on a nice cruise alongside the river. This was a complete clown show. The tracker got stuck several times, and I mean, just look at the desperation in my gameplay. After a long battle with the nature, I somehow got it unstuck though, which made everything fine. Thankfully. The train was the last thing between me and the platinum, and it didn't hold back. I fell over and over and over again. This was the most frustrating gaming experience I had in years, I'm not joking. Each time I fell, the tracker got loose and I had to fish it out from the most stupid locations imaginable. I was this close to restarting again, but after like the 50th time of trying to pick this shit up, it worked. The only thing that saved me this run is the fact that the tracker tracks our steps only when we are holding it. Without that mechanic, I would definitely have to restart the run and I might have broken something in my room. With the tracker now in hand, we finally make it out of the train and head straight forward for our trophy. Dropping down one last time and knocking on the door unlocks our last trophy for completing the game under 10k steps, which gives us the platinum trophy. PS Plus games this month are looking great, so watch out for that in the next video and don't forget to subscribe. See you then.